Hello my friends, I am back! Luke here, and it's been a long time. There's a big update video that should be coming, in a couple weeks or so. There's been something that's going on behind the scenes for a while that I'm really excited about. And that's just huge. It's just absolutely massive for everything and everyone, and I can't wait. It's been so long, and so I've been busy with that and a lot of other things, but I wanted to hop in, make you this video, get this recorded and edited and out for you today. Let's see if that happens. But you should be watching this on Sunday. Today I'm gonna say that just so I hold myself and make myself accountable to getting it out today. And I just kind of want to take a step back today to show you how it's not just all about me. It never was. But in the beginning, when I started You Can't Be Erased, when I started blogging, when I started making videos like this, I was really alone in this fight. There are a lot, I met so many other people who were suffering from various mental health challenges, but there was nobody actively speaking out and doing the advocacy that I'm doing. And I get that, like, it's not a thing that you think of, you're just like, yeah, I'll do that when I grow up. Like, it's a very life-altering decision that stays with you forever, and so I understand why a lot of people don't want to make it that public. I get it. But it's always been a passion of mine to find other young people, whether you're teenagers and young adults, who will share their story publicly in order to help others. And through my years of doing this, 6 years, I think we're coming on 7. Let's see, how old am I? 22, 16. I think we're coming on 7 years, I think. I might have all of my dates wrong. 6 years of doing this, okay? Of doing this, I've found a lot of people who are doing this, and some people are doing it in different regards, and I just wanted to highlight them. I wanted to showcase them. I want to show you them, because I only have one perspective and I can only really speak from one angle, whereas these other people can speak from a lot of different angles, from a lot of different perspectives, and can relate to you in a lot of different ways. And so here I am. I'm going to highlight some of the people that I've met through these years, and of course this is not a comprehensive list, but it was the ones that I really had a close relationship with, that I built, that I talked with a lot, and that I'm really excited to see what they're doing. And I want to start with the first one, the first person that I met who was just gung-ho on doing advocacy, and that is Christine Fry. We did a video together, a collab 2 or 3 years ago, way back when she was just trying to share her story. She ran across mine, she wanted to share her story, and so she reached out to me, we met, and we ended up doing a video for her channel, a video for mine. You might remember it. It tells them that they're feeling depressed.
Well, the first thing to remember is that mental illness, depression, it's real. You can't ignore it. You have to kind of tackle it head on and help those who are struggling with it.
I had a great time doing that, and that was my first experience with really working with someone who had, a perspective as a young person, but had completely different talent, skill, and passions, and just different things that moved them in a different, exciting direction. And now I'm so happy she's founded Brain XP. She's writing music. She wrote a book. Now she's speaking, and I'm just so happy to see her and her journey and how she's moving forward and doing this. So Christine, if you're watching this, thank you for doing what you're doing, and thank you for inspiring me and so many others to share their voice as well. And to take a slight different turn, well, this next person is David. Now, David approached me at a talk I did last year and was telling me about how he felt called to share this person's story. And this was a basketball player by the name of Nate Edwards, who tragically died by suicide and left behind his wife and 2 kids. When David heard about this, he felt called to share Nate's story and to raise a college fund for the kids. And so he made a documentary, and he's just working, raising money for these kids, for this specific person. And I just think it's a great example of how we can take our abilities, see someone hurting, and then use our skills and say, I'm gonna use my skill to help them. And this time, David is using his skill of videography, of storytelling, digitally through video, and I'm just so proud of him, and there's so many others that do things like this, that start GoFundMes, that try to, you know, to do charitable things out of just their heart, with no interest in what they'll get out of it, but in simply in doing something good. And for me, that's just so inspiring to see that happen, is someone stand up and take action for someone else who is hurting. Thank you, David, for standing up and doing something with your talents. And the final advocate I wanted to mention that I want you to know about is Anxiety Erica. Now, Erica, I first found through Instagram. I loved her stuff. She was raw, she was personal, she was funny. She was just such a great messenger for dealing with anxiety and living the best life possible. I reached out to her. I said, hey, I want to interview on my podcast. We got her on my podcast. You remember this? What do you see yourself doing?
I wrote out this question too. I like prepared. I'm like a giant planner. But like for the blog, like when I first started it, this is you're right, it's such a big question.
And it was just so great. It was by far just such a great podcast episode. It was a great interview. She had so many just great relatable tips, and just being a down-to-earth person. I just can't recommend her Instagram enough. I'll put all the links to all this will be in the description below, so don't worry about, you know, trying to Google these people. I'm so inspired by this. But I also wanted to remember the ones that we lost. And for me, this is always a really emotional thing for me to think about, is thinking about the people I've met personally, the ones who are fighting and fighting and fighting, but ultimately lost to whatever mental health challenge they're going to. And I just want to remember them. I'm not going to call out any people by name. I don't want to do that. But just know that if anything, this is what the stakes are. This is why we're fighting. This is what we're doing it for. We're doing it for these lives. And specifically in my heart, it's really for these kids, right? And just me as a kid myself, you know, it's for my peers, for those younger than me, a little bit older than me, just seeing this young life, this vibrant, passionate life with so much hope and so much potential fizzle out, and it's just so heartbreaking to me. Oh boy, it's super emotional for me, and I don't want to forget them. But I also want to remember the people who make it out of that. The people who are dealing with so many struggles and yet fight every single day to get out, to defeat their demons, and to every day become a little bit better. And I think a great example of this, and who I want to end with, is Mari. Now, Mari is someone that I reconnected with recently. She was one of the people that went to my support group a few years ago, back when it was active, and before, unfortunately, I had to close it down just because I couldn't give the attention that it deserved. Mari came on a hike with the group, and I remember because we were walking and we didn't talk that much. You know, our group was focused on bonding. Not necessarily you could share whatever you want, but you didn't have to. We were just all gonna be friends, and we were gonna support each other because we all knew that we were struggling in one way or another. And I remember Mari coming on this hike, and then I never heard from her again. And years later, I receive a message from her that her mom saw one of the videos that I had posted, sent it to her and said, remember this guy Luke? You should reach out to him. She reached out to me and said, hey, I want to share my story. Can we meet? Can we talk about, you know, how I can do that? So we met. We ended up, we lived a little bit far away, so we both braved the thunder and rain and lightning to drive a couple hours to meet each other and to talk about how to share your voice. And I'm so happy to say that she's now creating YouTube videos. She's here, and it's just absolutely doing a great job at still living with problems, still every day, you know, struggling, but putting her voice out there, putting her story in front of people who need to hear it. And if you want a laugh, if you want somebody who can take something, just, you know, a tragic situation and make you laugh and make you smile while you're in the midst of your misery, she is someone who is great. Her smile is contagious and her personality never ceases to make me wonder about where did that come from. And I wanted to end now on that high note. I wanted to end with that story of hope, because this is all real. These are real people doing real things in the real world. People who are taking action, who are being unashamed and sharing their voice. And I want that to inspire you to not, you don't necessarily have to share your voice. You don't have to go into a stage and speak in front of thousands of people. No, all you need to do is just use your struggles and use them to be a more empathetic, kind person. Use them to recognize a problem and maybe help someone through it because you've been there before. I want to inspire you to be unashamed and stay unashamed.